4:01 right now. We've got some breaking news into our newsroom at this point. A murder investigation in Manatee County. An 87-year-old woman accused of killing her disabled grandson, now charged with second-degree murder.
Lillian Parks has been receiving medical care since the death of Joel Parks on September 22nd. She was released this afternoon, taken into custody, and transported to the Manatee County Jail for processing. Her grandson, 30-year-old Joel Parks, was found dead inside these apartments on Riverfront Drive in Bradenton. Police say Lillian Parks told them she purposely overdosed him with the intention of killing him. She told them she's dying soon and there would be no one left to care for him. The Bradenton Police Department says this is still an active investigation and charges are forthcoming.
Some parents of students that attend Samoset Elementary School in Manatee County are concerned over the lack of sidewalks.
One mom called into our newsroom saying her home is too close for her child to catch the bus, so he has to walk. The only issue, she says, is there aren't enough sidewalks in that community. ABC 7's Marla Spence joins us live from our Manatee County mobile newsroom. Hey, Marla.
Well, Bill and Taylor, I drove up and down the streets of this community, and it's true, there are very few sidewalks for these narrow roads here in the Samoset community. This is leaving many parents concerned of their Samoset Elementary School kids having to walk to school, to and from school without those sidewalks. Now, many of those kids who live here, they live within a 2-mile radius of the school, which means they are not eligible to be picked up by a school bus. Now, while some parents say they're concerned, a few people who live in this community and fairly close to the school say they don't see an issue with the roads and how they are right now.
Everybody knows everybody, and they know that their kids are going to school, not to worry. And they watch out for children when schools is in and out. I don't think they need them. I have lots of relatives that live in this neighborhood and walk to school every day and have no issues.
I can understand from that point that there should be more sidewalks for the safety of kids, but mostly it's like I said, it's not a busy neighborhood, so usually many people don't complain about a lot of people driving around here.
And there is a sidewalk around the perimeter of the school, but not along the streets where a lot of the students live. Now, I reached out to Manatee County. People with Public Works Department there say that this community is older and was built before current building requirements for neighborhood street lights and sidewalks. Now, so far, there are dozens of sidewalk projects with the Manatee County government, which is a part of the Have Since Sell tax, which was approved in 2016. Now, outside of that, the Public Works Department, they put aside $300,000 a year for new sidewalks in the Manatee County area. Now, communities that request sidewalks that connect their communities with schools like this one, they are put on a first priority list. Now, for those communities, they can request for sidewalks in the Manatee County area. So coming up at 5:30, we're going to be telling you, if you don't live in the Samoset area and you want a sidewalk in your neighborhood, we're going to be telling you just how to do that. Reporting live in Samoset from our Manatee County mobile newsroom, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. New at 4, a Venice man is recovering after a saw cut into his leg at work. It happened along Laurel Road at the construction site for the new Sarasota Memorial Hospital. Firefighters say the man working on the second floor of the building suffered a severe laceration to his leg. The patient was stabilized before being brought to the ground by a ladder truck. He is still recovering at Sarasota Memorial Hospital. A Florida woman is behind bars after her alarmed parents discovered a trove of pipe bombs, weapons, and bomb-making materials in her bedroom. Michelle Colts is charged with 24 counts of making a destructive device with the intent to do bodily harm or property damage. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office says Colts would have unleashed catastrophic damage on hundreds of people if she would have detonated those bombs. Though it's still unclear where she planned to place these bombs, Colts is being held without bail and could face up to 15 years in prison.
Developing now, 5 crew members killed after a cargo airplane crashes in the Ukraine after running out of fuel. You're looking at video from the scene where authorities say the plane vanished from radar when it was just about 8.5 miles away from the airport. One of the crew members had called emergency services about 20 minutes after the crash, saying only 3 people survived. That crash still under investigation. We turn now to Washington and the impeachment showdown. We're now seeing text messages from a diplomat expressing concern about U.S. pressure on Ukraine. The latest revelations coming as President Trump is now publicly calling on both Ukraine and China to investigate his potential 2020 rival Joe Biden. All this unfolding as a key witness who informed Congress about the whistleblower testified today in a closed session in Washington. We get more from ABC's Rachel Scott.
A defiant President Trump digging in, asking yet another foreign country to investigate his potential 2020 rival.
China should start an investigation into the Bidens.
The president did not rule out asking Chinese President Xi directly to investigate the Bidens. The U.S. and China entangled in an ongoing trade war. Those talks pick up next week as Chinese officials touch down in Washington.
I have a lot of options on China.
The president already privately asked the leader of Ukraine to investigate Biden and his son, which launched an impeachment investigation.
It's wrong for a president of the United States to seek help from a foreign power in a presidential election.
The FEC chair tweeting out a reminder that federal law clearly states it's illegal to accept foreign assistance in connection with an election. And now new encrypted text messages obtained by ABC News reveal senior State Department officials discussed a potential summit between President Trump and the Ukrainian leader as leverage to get Ukraine to investigate the Bidens.
There is no pro quo. And that was the text message that I saw.
Those messages appear to show U.S. officials even drafted a statement for the Ukrainians to announce their investigation into political processes of the United States with a specific link to Joe Biden's son. Today, Ukraine's top prosecutor announcing that they are taking another look at Burisma, the company where Joe Biden's son was on the board. Though one former top Ukrainian law enforcement official told the LA Times he had seen no evidence of wrongdoing by the Bidens that he could pursue. And as President Trump continues his attacks, his campaign is backing him up. A campaign official tells me that this weekend they will spend more than $1 million in ads specifically targeting the Bidens in key early voting states. Rachel Scott, ABC News, Washington.
4:08 right now. Despite emergency heart surgery this week, Bernie Sanders plans to be at the next presidential debate. That debate set for October 15th. Sanders expected to be on hand, even though he had chest discomfort on Tuesday night, and then doctors treated a blockage in his artery, inserting 2 stents to treat the problem. It was announced that Sanders would suspend his campaign until further notice, but I suppose that makes this the further notice. His wife issuing a statement Thursday saying that he's up and about and his doctors are pleased with his progress. She's confirming that he is indeed looking forward to that debate later on this month. Right now, cyber hackers continuing to victimize us Floridians as well as some local governments with scams that steal money and personal information. Once inside, those scam artists can install viruses and malware on your computer, stealing passwords, account information, and other private files. Attorney General Ashley Moody says people need to be vigilant with their online security, both at home and at work.
One of the things we see a lot of is tech support scams, and that is when people are on the computer, a message will pop up, they ask them to call because they've detected a virus, people get nervous, they call in, they start providing all kinds of information, and really it's just a scammer wanting to take advantage of them.
To make sure you don't fall victims to scammers, here's some tips to keep in mind. Never respond to pop-up ads, don't allow remote access to your personal computer, and keep your software security up to date.
Right now, construction is underway on a maze at Nathan Benderson Park. The Lakewood Ranch Business Alliance helping to build the maze with bales of hay. The maze will be part of the park's trick-or-treat on the lake celebration. Over 3 days, 25 nonprofits are donating their time to help put this event together. The CEO of Lakewood Ranch Businesses says this is a good way to get involved with our community.
Message to the public is, get involved. Community matters. You live here in our community and we need to give back to that community every day. So we need to make sure we're giving back to our nonprofits. They have need dollars. It's not always dollars, it's time. Give your time. It's worth the effort.
This maze will be open on October 29th from 6 to 8 p.m. 420 bales of hay are going into the maze, making it twice as big as last year. Well, coming up, a Florida woman hiding for hours inside the ceiling of a store, refusing to come down. We'll tell you why and the charges she now faces.
Plus, some cooler temperatures ahead as we head into the weekend. Trevor's going to break down our forecast in just a couple of minutes.
And later, a huge secret marijuana growing operation. You won't believe where investigators found this hidden. Well, Disney lovers, listen up. Disney's Magical World has arrived at select Target stores. The shop-in-shop concept launched today in 25 Target locations across the country. The stores will sell around 450 items, including 100 products that were previously available only at Disney retail locations. Disney is opening the 750 square foot stores ahead of a busy holiday season for the company. Microsoft unveiled brand new wireless earbuds that sound like they're visiting from the future. The company says the Surface earbuds are receptive to touch. The headphones are also apparently able to help with other languages. Microsoft says they can translate as you talk, supporting up to 60 different languages. The tech company has not said when exactly the earbuds will be available for purchase.
The Hollywood Film Awards announcing its first major honoree this year. Toy Story 4 is going to receive the Hollywood Animation Award at this year's ceremony. Other films set to be honored include Jojo Rabbit for cinematography, and for production design, and Ford v Ferrari for editing and sound. More winners are expected to be announced before the 23rd Hollywood Film Awards, which is set for November 3rd in Beverly Hills. Coming up, a man paralyzed from the shoulders down, now able to walk. We'll show you how this is possible right after the break.
A man paralyzed from the shoulders down is now able to walk using a mind-controlled robotic suit. Take a closer look. The man severed his spinal cord after falling from a balcony. Researchers implanted recording devices in his head that can transmit signals into movements, which are then executed by a robotic exoskeleton. For 2 years, the man has been using a video game avatar to help it understand his thoughts. And over the course of the study, he was able to walk the distance of more than 1.5 football fields. Scientists say the technology is an experimental treatment that, with a little more work, could really help others. Let's check back in with meteorologist Trevor Adams for a final look at our forecast. Hey, Trevor.
Hey, Taylor. Catch that sunset, and that's a look at your weather, Bill.
All right, thanks very much. Coming up at 4:30, paratroopers from a military camp in Mississippi still recovering this afternoon as authorities investigate why they drifted off course and landed in trees during their training mission. We've got the latest developments plus new video coming up in our next half hour. Stick with us.